Francisco Goya's artwork is both mesmerizing and horrific, and is unique compared to any of his peers of the time. For the One Work, One Question project, I have chosen Goya's 1808 to 1812 oil on canvas painting, The Colossus. Although the project's focus is one work, it is tough to talk about the painting without its sibling, Goya's 1814 to 1818 etching, The Seated Colossus, or Seated Giant. The seated giant must also be discussed due to the question I am proposing. How did the Peninsular War inspire Goya to create the Colossus? First off, what is the Peninsular War, and where and when did it take place? The year is 1808, right in the middle of the Napoleonic Wars. France is trying to extend its dominion over Europe, and its next target is the Iberian Peninsula. Goya was a highly respected portrait painter, painting for the King of Spain, Charles IV. So respected, in fact, that after Charles renounced his throne, the French commissioned Goya to paint Spain's new king, Napoleon's brother, Joseph. Even though the French were invaders of his country, Goya did not hate them because he despised the tyranny Spain had endured. Goya's loyalties were divided, but there was one thing he was sure of: he hated warfare. Goya then went on a journey depicting the disasters of war print series, the atrocities of both sides, and the horror that warfare brought in gruesome, realistic detail. However, during the war, Goya created a painting that, on the surface, is the complete inverse of his Disasters of War series, simply titled The Colossus. Looking at the painting physically, its color is overall very muddy, consisting of darkened earth tones, except for a streak of blue sky emanating from the distance. The prominent figure of the painting, the Colossus, is shrouded behind clouds and hills. Curiously, the giant is looking at the distance with his hands raised as if he was ready for a brawl. On the ground, many animals and people are running in different directions, indicating panic. At first, it seems obvious that the panic is from the giant, but further inspection reveals that it is more complicated. One major inspiration that sprouted from the Peninsular War was a poem about Napoleon and Spain. In the poem, it talks about how when Napoleon crossed the mountains into Spain and came across the pale form of a Colossus in the reddish glow of the setting sun, his hips were shrouded in veils of cloud, reddened from the west, and the light which shone from his inflamed eyes made him even more terrifying. This is an exact description of the painting, making it a clear indicator for the main inspiration. So the giant is combating Napoleon and the French forces, but who or what does he represent? If the Titan represents the spirit of Spain, why are the people fleeing from their apparent protector? If not the free spirit of Spain, then could it be the Leviathan? The Leviathan, described by philosopher Thomas Hobbes, is a benevolent figure who watches over and guides humanity. However, what is the true nature of this creature? Is he intelligent? Is he aware of the people down below? Is he fighting for them, or for himself? Goya left no answers, his only writings being un gigante, resulting in multiple interpretations. However, more insight into the Colossus figure can be investigated through Goya's later work, The Seated Giant. A very similar figure is drawn in the etching, this time sitting down, turning his head towards the viewer. One analysis of this etching states, the giant might embody sorrow in war's aftermath, the bleak landscape symbolizing brutal conflict, and the lower white strip suggesting obliteration. This analysis is rooted in the fact that Goya continued to create works in his Disasters of War collection even after the Peninsular War, depicting the aftermath of conflict. Nonetheless, the Colossus is the painting of a man who lived through the darkest hours in his country's history and made a vivid and terrible mythology out of what he saw.